Hi, thanks for joining me. In this video, we are going to explore shoulder mobility in relationship to our hips. So a lot of shoulder rehab that we do might be focused specifically on the shoulder joint and the shoulder blade. But in life, our movements are not just arms and not just hips. We have to think about how do our shoulders function in relationship to our rib cage, in relationship to our hips as well. So in this practice, we're going to focus on that relationship. So what you'll need is either the surface of a chair or a couch or a bench. So what we're going to do is we're going to start on our knees, keeping the knees about hip distance, and then bringing the forearms onto the surface of the piece of furniture that you're going to use. We want to be in a place where our spine can be relatively neutral, so I'm not sinking down or rounding. So if I were to come to standing, I'm just hinging from my hips and then bringing my forearms onto the piece of furniture. And we just do the best that we can given what we have. So the knees might need to be a little bit closer, a little bit farther apart, so you'll get to explore and see what feels the most natural and most comfortable for you. So let's orient ourselves. Arm bone comes into the shoulder socket here. We've got the shoulder blades on the back. Ribs, leg bone comes into the hip socket. Right around here. Okay. So now the movement, we're going to take the hips back. And so the movement is happening here, right? Flexion. And we're getting some extension here. So our shoulder blades need to be able to rotate on our back, and the arm bone needs to be able to move in the shoulder socket as the hips go back. We want to find a range where the spine stays neutral. So as you go back, if the back starts to sink down, then you've gone too far. So now you're no longer moving through the shoulder socket, you're moving through your back. And the same thing if the back rounds, then we're not moving through the arms and shoulders anymore, we're moving through the back. So you can kind of look at your hands. And this might be, if you can't really feel what's going on with your spine, if you can set up a video on your computer or do this where there's a mirror so you can actually have real-time feedback. Because right now I can see myself on my computer screen and I can see that my spine is staying neutral. And breathe with ease. If there's a strong pull through the shoulders, then you might go a little bit smaller with your movement. If you're holding your breath, you might go a little bit smaller or just pause and reconnect with your breath. Remember, less is more. These movements for the therapeutic applications don't need to be big. Right? We gain control and coordination through a smaller range, and that will bring us into a bigger range. So have fun exploring this one and see what you notice. And once you find you can move well here, you might try bringing the hands onto the floor and doing the same thing from a tabletop. Now this is an increased load. We have more load coming down through the arms into the wrists. So this might not be appropriate for you if you can't keep a neutral spine. So if your back is rounded or you can't bear weight on your wrists, just stick with this one for now. Okay. If you can rest in kind of a neutral tabletop with ease, you can explore the same movement. So the hips are coming back. And you'll feel the weight coming out of the wrists and then coming back into the hands. And again, exploring, finding a range where the spine stays neutral, breathing with ease. And then the next step from here, so if that was really easy for you and the spine stays neutral, you can consider tucking your back toes under. I don't know if you can see that here. Oh yeah, tuck your back toes under. And then you might lift the knees. Okay. So actually, even before you do that, as you move back, I also want you to notice what's happening with your abdomen. So you might be able to sense how your abdomen naturally tones as you move back without having to grip or brace the belly, right? It just happens, it's just responsive. So from here now, then you might lift your knees 1 inch off the floor. And this is going to increase load through the arms. It's going to be more challenging. And it's also going to require that the abdomen respond. So lifting the knees. And so maybe you're holding here. Maybe you can just feel the strength required through the arms. And you might just play here. If this is easy and you can hold this, then you can do the same rocking motion, keeping the knees 1 inch off the floor. The knees shouldn't lift up as the hips go back. And we're still exploring movement now through the hips and through the arms, keeping a neutral spine. So 3 levels. Here, tabletop, and knees lifted. So you can see how you can start to progress the movement over time. And you might not get to the point where the knees lift. It might not matter to you. So have fun exploring. If you have any questions, you can post them to the comments below. Have a great day.